Hi everybody, welcome to Face to Face, and I've got the most famous two words in all of Windsor, Essex, we all know, and worldwide really, Canadian Club. And if we're talking about Canadian Club, we only have one person we want to talk to, and that's Tish Harcus from Canadian Club. Welcome.
Thank you, John.
How are you?
I'm very well. How
Finally,
are you?
I get you here.
I know.
I have seen you at so many events and fundraisers and community events, and then you just doing your job some places too.
Yeah.
And sometimes the community events are doing your job.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of that. Our founding father, Hiram Walker, you know, he gave so much back to the community, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just kind of following in his footsteps and trying to be out there and, you know, spread the Canadian Club gospel wherever I go.
Well, there you go. Well, she's preaching today, and I see what the offering's going to be. But let's talk a little bit about the history of Hiram Walker's and Canadian Club in Windsor, Essex.
Yes, yeah. Well, we go back, this year we celebrate 157 years. Hiram came there in 1856, and 1858 opened the distillery. So every drop of Canadian Club is still proudly manufactured and aged right here in Windsor, Ontario, or Walkerville, Ontario. This became a global brand around 1890, and you know, our first royal warrant from Queen Victoria in 1898. So at that point, you know, CC was it was available in about 50 countries at that time. Up to today, we're available in over 165 countries around the world.
Wow.
Yes.
And obviously, folks, in case you didn't know, Walkerville was named for Hiram Walker.
That's right. That's right.
So that's where it is. And of course, many know of where Art in the Park is every year, the beautiful Willisted Manor, which is part of his story too.
That's right. His oldest surviving son, Edward Chandler Walker, built that with his wife Mary in 1904. And yeah, it's a beautiful home today. And I mean, it's lovely to see different events that go on in there.
So let's talk about you, Tish. Growing up East Coast,
you're
an East Coast lady.
Yes.
So
Cape
tell
Breton
us
Island.
about Cape Breton.
Yeah, a beautiful little Scottish community down there, Mabou, population of 35.
Wow, and you left? How dare you leave?
A little bit more than that. Yep, grew up there and came here when I was 8 years old. My father's job got transferred, so we came to Windsor, Ontario. And this is home now for sure. But get back home, Cape Breton, I try and get back once a year.
You wanted to move to Windsor. Your mom was set on that. Why was that?
Well, he actually, my father worked in Detroit, and she wouldn't move to Detroit. It was just after the riots, and so she said, nope, we're not going there. And there was a few Cape Bretoners that worked here in the automotive company, and so we settled in Windsor. And so I'm the youngest of three girls, and we're still here.
And an alumnus of the University of Windsor.
Yes.
And so what did you take?
I worked down there. I worked in the law library, worked for one of the professors. And when I thought that was going to be a career, I kind of changed tune after a couple of years. And I was driving back and forth every day in front of this beautiful building on Riverside Drive, and I said, I'd love to work in there one day. And so I dropped my resume off, and magically 26 years ago, I got a job there. So
where did you start at?
I started in fleet operations. We had all of our salespeople had a company car, and started working with the salespeople and really got attached to that. Wow. And then kind of along the way, I veered off in a couple of different departments, but 15 years ago I landed in this marketing area. So, yeah.
So we want to talk about some of the things, and I see that we brought out your soldiers.
Yes.
They are all here. We're going to talk a little bit about those in a couple of minutes, but more about your job. So let's find out your job.
It's I call it the world's best job, really. I mean, it kind of evolved. When that was the building that we're in, the Canadian Club building on Riverside Drive, that was the executive offices right up until 2001. And then our president at that time had the idea that, you know, why are we kind of not sharing this beautiful building with the world? So the executives all moved out, and we turned it into what it is today, the brand center. But yeah, every year it's getting a little bit more popular. We see people from around the world. My job, I manage the building, and I have a number of staff there, and we do all sorts of events. We do over 100 weddings every year. We do corporate rentals. We do garden events. We do tours. So there's that's one of the hats that I wear. And the other hat, of course, is traveling and speaking about these beautiful whiskeys